press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, in today's class we will start a new chapter that is on light. Okay, so we already know how light plays a very important role in our lives, right? So light is also one of the basic need to all the living organisms, okay, even animals, we humans, and also to the plants. Okay, as we all know that plants prepare their basic food using this light itself, and okay, we can see things all around only because of this light. Okay, now in this chapter we will study about the light, okay, how it travels, okay, and the about the surfaces on the light hits. Okay, so let's start the chapter light. Okay, so whatever the light we see, okay, maybe the natural light, that is this sunlight, okay, or the street lights, and this light from this headlights, or this light from the torches, right, and many more examples. I have just named a few here. Alright, so all this the path in which the light travels is a straight line, right? So the light travel from this torch, okay, when we on the torch, the light which travels is not wavy or curved or something, right? It's just into like just like the straight line. Even this is the natural sunlight, okay, what we get, the sun rays, okay, it travels in a straight beam, in a straight line. And here also the car headlights, okay, the light what we get from our vehicles, even this travels a straight distance, okay, a straight path, right? Even these street lights and many more examples. So basically what I am trying to say is the light travels a straight line, a straight path, okay, it's not wavy, it's not curved, it's not circular or any direction, okay, it just travels a straight line. Okay, so here's an activity. Okay, so here's an activity where we can confer whether the light travels a straight line or a different path. Okay, so when we have a candle here, okay, if we have a candle and if we try to see the candle, okay, if we try to see the candle through a pipe or any other plastic tube or something, anything for that matter, when we are trying to see that candle through this tube like structure, okay, and this what you have to notice is here what we have taken is a straight tube, okay, a straight path, okay, and if we use this we can clearly see the candle from this hole. Okay, when we are trying to see, look at this candle from here, we can clearly see this image. Okay, but in the same way, if you are taking if you are looking at the same candle, okay, if we are looking at the same candle but the path used is a little bend here, okay, this is not straight as in the before case, okay, this is somewhat bend, it is a bent pipe or a bent tube you can say. So if we are taking this, we hardly or we cannot look, okay, we cannot see this candle, okay, it's dark, okay, you can do this activity if you want. Okay, so the candle, okay, so why do we need light? Basically to see things, like to see things or to look around. Okay, here we can clearly see the candle through this hole because it is a straight line. Okay, light travels straight path. But here to see this candle, okay, if we use this the bent structure or the bent pipe, we cannot see this candle. Okay, this with this activity, with this experiment, we can clearly infer that the light, yes, the light travels along a straight line. Okay, now let us study about this reflection of light. Okay, so what is this reflection? Okay, here you can see in ponds, lakes, or any water bodies around, whatever the trees or the mountains or the small animals, whatever are near or around the water, their reflection is seen in water, right? Their reflection we can see. And also if you hold some shiny surfaces like this steel, like steel plates or steel spoons or anything, okay, if the surface is shiny and everything, you can clearly see the image, you can clearly see the reflection. Alright, and here is also an activity, okay, where here we have let a light to pass through this, okay, and we have here taken a torch and we have pasted some of the slits, okay, some 3 slits here, 3 vertical slits to stop this light beam. And if we make this torch or this light to go along, okay, when it falls to this plain surface, okay, so this is a cardboard and we have pasted a chart paper, okay, onto this chart paper we have placed a mirror, and when we let this light to fall on this plane mirror, what's happening here? You can see the reflection. Okay, so light is falling from this. Okay, so light is falling from this torch, it is getting reflected, and again it is coming back in this way. Okay, so this is what reflection means on a basic term. So light falls, it reflects and comes back. Okay, it diverges. So the plane mirror changes the direction of light that falls on it, and this change of direction by a mirror is called reflection of light. Here you can see here we have taken light, we have applied light through this torch, okay, in this direction. But after falling on a plane mirror surface, the light changes the direction. It's not coming the same way. Okay, see, this is the torch light we have come across, but here after reflection, see, this is what the light changes its direction. So this is what reflection is. And the definition is somewhat like this, that a mirror changes the direction of light that falls on it, and this change in the direction by the mirror is called reflection of light. Okay, so yes, objects are visible only when light reflected from them reaches our eyes. Yes, of course, we can see our objects when there is reflection of light. Okay, when the light falls and when it reflects, and if the light reaches to our eyes, only then we can see our reflection. Only then we can see the objects. Okay, here another example here. See, we have placed a candle here. Okay, there is a candle in front of a plane mirror. Okay, now this candle is the clear image can be obtained in this mirror. We can clearly see the image of this candle into this mirror. All right, now the candle, okay, the candle which appear behind the mirror. Okay, so this candle, okay, so the candle which appears behind this mirror is the image of the candle. Okay, so the whatever object we find behind this mirror, this is called the image, and the candle itself is called an object. Okay, so the actual object or the original thing or the original substance what we keep to check out in the mirror image, so that is the object, and whatever the image or whatever the object we see in the mirror. Okay, so whatever the object we see in the mirror, this is the image. Okay, so this is the image what we see in the behind the mirror, and the object which is actually present is the object. Okay, so this is the object, and what we see in the mirror is the image. Okay, so whatever we see in the mirror is the image, and whatever the substance we keep, okay, to check this image, that is the object. Okay, I hope you are clear with what is image and object. Right, so an image found by a plane mirror, okay, is erect and of the same size. Okay, so this is the plane mirror, and if you are keeping a candle here and checking out the size, see, this candle is neither appearing small, okay, the image. Okay, so this is the object and this is the image, and this image of candle is neither appearing small or nor it is appearing big, right? It is the same size of that of this candle. Okay, so this kind of image, okay, where the object or where the image what we find in the mirror is neither small nor large. So that kind of image is what we call erect image. Okay, now let us see what is this relationship with the distance. Okay, here is an example of you can take a chessboard, or if not you can create a cardboard with equal number of boxes around, and keep a vertical mirror like this. Okay, the plane mirror. Okay, for example, take a chessboard, keep this plane mirror around, and take a substance. Okay, take an object, maybe a pencil, sharpener, eraser or anything. Keep this in one box. Okay, in particular some second or the third box for that matter. Okay, keep it in one box and see the image. Okay, in this image we are keeping, this is the object, and what we are getting in the mirror is the image. So this is the image and this is the object, right? So we are keeping this object in a box, okay, at a particular box, and we are tracking the distance in this plane mirror. Okay, now this is where exactly we are finding this image. Now what we will do is, we will move this sharpener to the fourth box. Okay, for example, if you are keeping this sharpener at the second box, next we will move it to the third. Now what I am saying is, we are keeping it to the third box, we will move it to fourth. I mean, just move it further to see the difference. Okay, so difference of the image, to see that, just move this object. Okay, now it is here. Let's move this object here. Okay, now what happens to this image? Okay, so when we are moving this sharpener to here, to the fourth or the fifth or the sixth, at the further as it moves, the image also goes behind, right? It also moves behind. Okay, so this is the mirror image of this sharpener. So what I am trying to say is, when it comes to the distance, okay, when it comes to the distance between this image and object, the distance which this sharpener moves from here to here, it is the same distance the image of this sharpener moves. Okay, so the object appears the same as the object it is. Okay, so in the erect image, in the plane mirrors, what happens if we are checking out this object, if we have to see the distance, okay, now we have kept this sharpener closer to this plane mirror. Okay, so that's why this is what we are getting. And if we move this sharpener to the further boxes, 4th, 5th or 6th, like that, then this image of this sharpener, this also moves back. Okay, so this is what, the distance. Okay, so the distance between this image and sharpener, okay, varies, right? In a plane mirror, the image, okay, in the plane mirror, the image formed by this mirror is erect, small, and at the same distance. Okay, it is at the same distance from the mirror as the object is in front of it. Okay, so if the object is close enough to this mirror, in this example, if the object, okay, if this object is close, the image also appears close. Okay, if this object is far away, the image also appears far. Okay, so that's what I am trying to say. It is the same as that of this image. Okay, now yes, we all when we stand in front of a mirror, we all see like are exactly a copy. Okay, we all see whatever the image we are holding or anything for that matter, whatever it is, it appears the same. Okay, but have you observed there is one difference, right? So the image, when you look out in a plane mirror, what the difference is, when you lift your left hand, okay, so when you lift your left hand in a mirror, it appears to be the right in the mirror. Okay, so it appears the opposite thing. Okay, if you move your right hand from the mirror, it appears as if you are lifting your left hand. Right, so the images which are formed in a plane mirror are the opposite of the real images. Okay, in this example, this guy has lifted his left hand. Okay, but when you see it in the mirror, right, so when you see it in the mirror, it appears to be the opposite, as if it has lifted his right hand. Okay, so one of the important characteristics of this plane mirror is that yes, things appears the same. Whatever you are holding, you can clearly see it. But the direction, okay, there is a change in the direction. Okay, left appears to be the right and right appears to be the left. Okay, yes, here's one more example. See, we all have seen ambulances, right? So we can observe, okay, if not observe it once you see, if ever, see the ambulance here return is in the opposite way. Okay, so why is it so? It's because when we look out in a mirror, okay, so when we are we are using vehicle, we are going around, and when this ambulance appears in our scooty or in a bike's mirror, okay, so it appears straight like this. Okay, this is because, yes, ambulance is something where there is emergency, and soon after seeing in the mirror that yes, there is ambulance, we should not, we should understand, seeing these letters that yes, it is ambulance, and we need to give a way to that. Okay, so if the ambulance is returned in the straight letters on a vehicle, then if in this mirror it appears to be opposite. Okay, so in mirrors, what happens, what I am trying to say is, whatever the thing is, okay, even the direction of hands or even the letters, it appears to be opposite. Okay, just hold your writing, just write a sentence or a word, or just hold your notes in front of a mirror and see the letters appears to be opposite. Okay, and if you write opposite letters and if you hold in front of a mirror, that appears to be straight. Okay, so it seems opposite. So if there is a opposite letter here written here, that means it appears to be straight. Okay, so that we can easily understand, yes, there is ambulance. okay, and we need to give a way to this, okay. So that is the reason ambulance is returned in the opposite direction, okay. Now let us know something about the spherical mirrors, okay. So what are these spherical mirrors? A spherical mirror is a mirror that has the shape of a piece cut out of a spherical surface, okay. So whatever the piece, okay, whatever the object is, if it is in a spherical direction, if it is in a spherical shape, that is what we call spherical mirror, okay. In this example, okay, we are holding a spoon here, okay. Spoon, the surface of the spoon is somewhat spherical, right? So the best example what we can take is a spoon here, and this is, yes, the image from the outer side of a spoon, okay. If we are holding a spoon, the outer side of the spoon, the other spherical shape, okay, of the spoon, then this is how it looks like, okay. Okay, you can take a pencil, you can take a sharpener and just keep it a spoon and a sharpener or a eraser here and just look out the image what you get, okay. So this is how you get the image. This is the outer surface of this spoon, and if you take inner surface of this spoon, okay, inverse is the surface which is inward curved inside, okay. We all know spoons, we all use it, right? So this is the outer surface and this is the inner surface, and when you look out to the spoon and when you see the inner surface, when you check out the image using the inner surface, this is how it looks like, okay, inverted, okay. The image looks inverted, and if as you keep on moving the distance of this spoon, okay, as you increase the distance from this spoon, it appears smaller and smaller, okay. So this is the image from the inner side of this spoon, and this is the image from the outer side of the spoon. You can try it out to check out the formation of images. Yes, and this is a spherical image, spherical mirrors we can say, okay. The surface is spherical, right? So spherical mirrors are nothing but, the mirror which has a shape of a piece which is cut out in the spherical form. So that is a spherical mirrors, and yes, in the spherical mirrors we have two types, that is concave mirror and convex mirror, okay. Now this is a very important, okay, names that you have to remember, that is spherical mirrors are of two types, that is concave mirror and convex mirror, okay. Now let us see what are these concave and convex. If the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is concave, it is called a concave mirror, okay. Here we can see, so what is this meaning, the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is concave. What does concave means? Okay, concave means the reflecting surface is, curved inside, okay. This is curved, this is the reflecting surface, right? Okay, so this is curved inside, okay. So that was concave means. So here's an example where we can see, okay, this is the best thing, okay. So this is the spherical, right? This is spherical in shape, this is a spherical mirror, okay. Just relate these mirrors to this ball, okay. So this is the spherical shape, that is spherical mirror, and if we cut this ball into two halves, this is what we get, right? Okay, here the curved surface is inwards, okay, and this surface, okay, if we take and see this surface, this part is curved outside, okay. So the surface in which there is a curve which is okay, the surface which is curved inside or which is curved inwards is called concave surface, and this surface, okay, the surface which is curved outside, okay, this surface which is curved outside is called convex surface, okay. With this ball we can clearly understand what does concave surface and convex surface means, okay. I hope you understood, okay. The surface, okay, the surface which is curved inwards, that is called concave surface, and the surface which is curved outwards, that is called convex surface, okay. This is concave mirror, that means a concave surface where it is curved inside, the curved inwards, okay. So this is curved outwards, so this is the convex mirror, okay. So this, if the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is concave, it is called a concave mirror, and if the reflecting surface is convex, then it is called a convex mirror, okay. Now let us see how does an image is formed in a concave mirror, okay. So in a concave mirror, if the reflecting surface is on the side curved inwards, yes, as mentioned earlier, that this reflecting surface is curved inwards, okay. This is curved inwards, then it is a concave mirror. Yes, examples are shaving mirrors, mirrors used by dentist, mirror used in telescopes. Okay, for example, when you go to dentist, he'll keep some mirror like a small equipment and to see your teeth clearly, right? So that is a concave mirror what he uses. Okay, dentist and even shaving mirrors, even the mirrors in telescopes, those are all the concave mirrors. And these are called the diverging mirrors. Okay, remember the term, concave mirrors are called diverging mirrors. Okay, so now what does diverging means? If this is a image, just imagine if this is some object, okay, and this is a light beam. Okay, these arrow marks are showing the light beams. Okay, so this here, if the light falls, okay, so this after the light falls to at a point, okay, after after this light falls at a point, okay, this here after falling on a surface, after falling on a reflective surface, this point or this light diverges somewhere. Okay, okay, diverges means it splits. Okay, it divides into something. Okay, so this light, this is the direction of the light falling on this reflecting surface. Now after it reaches to the surface, it diverges. Okay, so that is the diverging mirrors. Okay, so this is what, this is a concave mirror, right? This is a concave mirror, that means it is curved inwards, right? So when this light falls on this concave mirror, which is a reflecting surface, the light diverges. Okay, so that is why these mirrors are called diverging mirrors. Okay, in the same way, this is the convex mirror, right? This is curved outwards. Okay, this is the curved outwards, and here the light, when the light falls to this surface, to this reflecting surface, here the light do not diverge. Okay, instead of this, the light gets converged. Okay, all the light beams converge at one place. Okay, this is what happens when we keep a convex mirror. Okay, this is how an image is formed. Okay, understand, in a concave mirror, here the surface is curved inwards. So the light, whatever light falls on this, it diverges. And here in convex mirrors, when there is a beam of light striking to this reflective surface, this light converges. Okay, so this is the difference between this concave and convex mirrors. Basically, the image or the light which falls on the concave mirror, it diverges, and the light which falls on the convex mirror, it converges. Okay, so this is about the concave and convex mirrors. Now let us see about the real and virtual image. Okay, so when an image is formed on a screen with the help of a mirror, it is called a real image. Okay, so when an image, see, you can, seeing these images you can understand, just remember these images so you can make it out. Here we have kept a light. Okay, that is the thing about the candle. Okay, this is, yes, we are using artificial source of light here. We are keeping a candle here, and this reflection is fall on this concave mirror. Okay, concave mirror, and concave mirror means the reflective surface is curved inwards. Okay, when we see when the light falls on this concave mirror, it diverges, right? So the light diverges, and this is how, okay, an image looks like on a screen. If we keep a screen here, okay, a plain screen, and if we keep a candle in between, and if we keep a concave mirror, okay, this light falls on this, it diverges. Okay, and this is how the image looks like. Okay, so when this is example when the image of the light is kept far away. Okay, and when we move this candle close to this concave mirror, okay, earlier this candle was here, right, somewhere here in that image, as you can see, the candle was somewhere here, and that is how the image look like. But here when we move this candle closer to this concave mirror, okay, so this is how the image looks like. The image is enlarged. Enlarged means it looks bigger, right? Here when the object was far away, the image was seen a little smaller, and when we have moved this object closer to this concave mirror, the image looks enlarged. Okay, this is the types of image obtained when we use a concave mirror. Okay, so these are the real images. Real images mean the images which we can obtain on a screen. Okay, if we keep a screen here and we obtain these images, these are called real images. Okay, and similarly, an image which cannot be obtained on a screen with the help of a mirror is called a virtual images. Virtual means which is not real. Okay, so here an example is we see that the image in this example, we see that the image formed by a concave mirror can be smaller or larger inside than that of the object. The image may also be the real or virtual. Okay, here the image what we get is smaller or large. Okay, so these are the real images which are obtained on the screen. But if we keep this concave mirror here very close, but here we cannot obtain the image on the screen. So this is the virtual image. Virtual images are not captured by the screen. Okay, so we cannot get the virtual images on the screen. So that is what virtual image, the images which are not obtained on a screen. Okay, those are called virtual images. Okay, so when an image is formed on a screen with the help of a mirror is called real image, and similarly an image which cannot be obtained on a screen with the help of a mirror is called a virtual image. Okay, so it depends. Okay, when you keep, okay, this is the same concave mirror, right? When you keep the candle out here, so you can obtain an image, right? So when you are keeping an candle somewhat near, okay, this is how the image looks like, somewhat enlarged. And if you keep a candle right away straight to this, okay, right away in front of this concave mirror, you will get the virtual image. Okay, so concave mirror has or makes both real and virtual images. Okay, so the major difference between real and virtual images is in the real images, that image is captured or obtained on a screen, that is a real image, and which cannot be obtained on the screen are called virtual images. Okay, so that was about the concave mirrors. Okay, now let us see how an image is formed in a convex mirror. Okay, so this is an example where we which is a convex mirror. Here means convex means here the reflecting surface is what curved outwards. Okay, so that is convex mirror. Okay, so even this is a virtual image. Okay, so here convex mirror forms virtual images, whereas concave mirrors forms both virtual images and real images. Okay, but whereas convex mirror forms only virtual images. Okay, and yes, this is what mirror is used in convex mirrors, sorry, in vehicles. Okay, convex mirror. Okay, when you use a convex mirror, why do we use convex mirror in vehicles in the side view? Because convex mirrors can form images which forms images of objects, okay, which spread over a large area. So these people, we can clearly see, the traffic all around. Okay, that means here if you use a convex mirror, okay, it covers a large area. See, the mirror is only small. What it might be this size only, right? That is the size of usually the mirror what we have in our vehicles, cars, bikes, or everything. Okay, so but when we look at this image, when this mirror, okay, we clearly can see this much traffic, right? It covers a large area, so that we can clearly see, oh yeah, there is too much traffic there, we should have to move fast or we have to move slow. That will manage later. Okay, so just to understand, okay, to see a large area, to see it covers a large area, which is helpful for the drivers. Okay, that is why convex mirror are used in these vehicles. Okay, now what is this lenses? Okay, so how are images found by the lenses? Okay, we all know about this, right? So what is this? This is a magnifying glass. Okay, so why do we use magnifying glass? Okay, to see the enlarged images. Okay, when things are too small, or in your science labs, okay, we use magnifying glass to see the enlarged images of the objects. Okay, so these lenses are widely used in spectacles, telescopes and microscopes. Okay, microscopes, what do you use microscope for? Yes, to look out to whichever the objects are not seen, which are naked eyes, which we cannot see it clearly, right? So it magnifies the images. Okay, so these lenses magnifies the images, which means it makes enlarge, so that we can have a clear view of the object. Okay, so these lenses are used more in spectacles, right? So in telescopes and microscopes. Also, those lenses which feels thicker in the middle than at the edges are called convex lenses, and vice versa. Okay, those which feel thinner in the middle, okay, than the edges are called concave lenses. Okay, again these lenses are of two types. See, we have two types in mirrors. Okay, in spherical mirrors we have two types, that is concave mirror and convex mirror, and in lenses also we have two types, the same type, that is concave and convex lens. And here the difference is in the lens. Okay, if this is the lens, okay, and if the imagine this is a circular lens. Okay, this is magnifying glass of course, but if we take a lens and here the surface, okay, the outer part is thin and inside is thick. Okay, the middle part if it's thicker and compared to the edges which are thin, that is convex lens, and in the same way if the edges are thick and the middle surface is thin, that is concave lens. Okay, so these lenses are transparent and light can pass through them. Okay, so this is the convex lens and concave lens. Okay, so this is convex lens. Okay, where the edges or this surface is bulged outwards. Okay, see, this is a convex lens and this is a concave lens. Okay, where the surface is reflective surface is curved inwards, both the surfaces. So this is concave and this is convex lens. Okay, as we have learned earlier that yes, convex lens converges, okay, or bent inwards. Okay, the light generally falling on it. Okay, so therefore it is called a converging lens. Because this is the convex lens, right? So see here, this is a convex lens which on which both the surface reflecting surfaces are bulged or curved outside. Okay, so this is the convex lens, and see, this is the light falling on it, right? So when this light falls on this convex lens, this converges. Okay, so the light converges at a point. But in the concave lens, in the same way, when the light is falling on this surface, concave lens reflective surface, the light diverges. Okay, it deflects, it diverts to various directions. But here all the light beams which have travelled, okay, that converges. Okay, that gets collected at one point. Here it changes the direction. Here the light diverges. Okay, so that is why these convex lenses are called converging lens, and these concave lenses are called diverging lenses. Okay, and again that we have studied about the convex mirror images. Again in the same way, if we see an example using this concave lens, because these are an image found by a convex lens, right? So if we use a convex lens here, okay, so here we'll get the inverted image. Okay, so if we like the same way, if we keep a light source here and if we move this reflecting surface, that this is a convex lens we have taken, right? So if this we move and here the image what we get is inverted. Okay, this is a screen, and in a screen if we use a convex lens and this is a light source, we'll get the small and inverted image. And this is a convex lens again, and if we decrease the distance, if we move it a little nearer, then this is what image looks like, inverted. Okay, inverted enlarged image. Okay, so these are all examples, where different images, different size of the images can be seen depending on the distance of these convex lenses. Okay, so these are all the real images. See, real images can be formed. Okay, the images which we can get on a screen are the real images. Okay, so these are all the example. Yes, now this is an example to show that the convex lens forms the virtual image. Okay, so this is a virtual image. If we keep a convex lens right in front of the candle, okay, it forms a virtual image. Okay, and in the same way, if we take a concave lens here, okay, if you take a concave lens here, so this is how the image looks like. Okay, this is the image formed by a concave lens. Okay, so this is about the image formation using concave and lenses, concave and convex lenses. Now, so we all have seen this rainbow, right? I hope we all have, we enjoy seeing these rainbows. Okay, so when there is both sunlight and when it is raining, okay, we observe these rainbows, okay, which is very colorful. We all love to see this, right? But have you ever seen this, all the colors? Okay, have you ever checked out, have you ever observed what are all the colors we see? Okay, so when we see this beautiful rainbow, we just might see some 3-4 colors. Okay, but actually, okay, so these are all colors it consists of. that is what we call VIBGYOR. Okay, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Okay, all these colors we can see in this rainbow. Okay, but when we see, we just see some 3 or 4, but it consists, the actual rainbow consists of this 7 colors. Okay, now what does sunlight consist of? Like, is it white or colored or what? Okay, yes, we know this rainbow, we look at it and it's really colorful, and these are all the colors it consists of. Okay, but what about the sunlight? Yes, so here is an example to see. Okay, so take a CD player. Okay, if we take a CD player here, okay, a plain CD player, and when we keep that CD in a light or in front of a sun, okay, when we keep it outside to the sun or to the light, okay, its surface appears to be shiny. Okay, here we can see lights, right? Here we can see blue, green, red. Okay, so these are the light reflections we can see. Okay, also if we make if we take a prism here, right, if we take a prism here and we make a white light, okay, this is a white light, okay, coming across. If there is a prism here and this is a white light, and if we make a hole to pass through the white light, okay, so this is a prism and we'll make this white light pass through this. So what happens? So when it passes through this prism, okay, this is what happens. Okay, when the white light is passed through the prism, this constitutes of various colors, okay, which are visible when it passes through a prism. Okay, with this experiment we can say white light consists of 7 colors. Okay, and those colors are VIBGYOR. Okay, violet, indigo, blue, green, orange, red. Okay, so when we this is what we can infer seeing this, right, that this sunlight consists of 7 colors. Okay, white light is not exactly white. In fact, there are 7 colors which makes a one white color. Okay, when we make this white light pass through this prism, we can clearly see when it passes, it comes as a combination of all these 7 colors. Okay, so this is prism splits a beam of sunlight into 7 colors. Okay, yes, we can artificially we can make this. Okay, if we take a disc, okay, take a disc, tie it to some stand or something, which we can turn it around easily, and just make it color. Okay, just color it or keep some or paste some color charts or color papers. Okay, these 7 colors. Okay, take a disc. Okay, keep 7 colors, paint it or just paste some chart sheets. Okay, colorful chart sheets, and just rotate it. Okay, so when you rotate, this is how it looks like. Okay, so when you rotate this disc which you have made very colorful, which you have painted, or if you have pasted some chart colors, okay, so when you rotate it fast, this is how it looks like. Okay, here the 7 colors, when you rotate it, appears to be white, right? So I am relating to that sunlight. Okay, when there is white light, okay, this appears into the 7 colors. Okay, these are all the colors what a rainbow has, what sunlight consists of. Okay, these colors when you rotate appears to be white. Okay, so this is about the chapter light. Okay, so in this chapter we have studied all the important points about this light. Okay, mostly about the reflective surfaces. Okay, so light is, yes, it is plays a most important role. We can see around our beautiful world because of the light, and the ultimate source of this light is the sunlight, right? And with this discussion, here the chapter light completes. Okay, so in this chapter we have learnt about the light. Okay, and the light, we know that the light travels a straight path. Okay, so light travels a straight path, and also yes, we can see things only because when the light travels straight path. If the surface, if we have taken a surface which is bent or which is not straight, we can hardly see the objects. Okay, and we have something called spherical mirrors, right, and spherical mirrors, okay, which the surface is spherical. Okay, and those we are of 2 types. Okay, this both convex mirror and concave mirrors. Okay, convex mirror are the ones that which the curved surface. Okay, the curved surface is made inwards. Okay, the curved is inwards. Okay, that is concave mirror, and the surface of the reflective surface, if it is moved outwards, that is convex mirrors. Okay, the same way we have seen how images are formed. Okay, in the plane mirrors, virtual images are formed. Okay, and in the same way in the convex mirrors and concave mirrors forms both real and virtual images. Okay, and the convex mirror forms only virtual images. Okay, and we have also learned about the lenses. Okay, so we use magnifying glasses. Okay, or we use magnifying glasses to see a magnifying image. Okay, to see the enlarged image we use magnifying glasses. Again, those are nothing but the lenses. Okay, and through this lens light travels. Okay, these are transparent, and light, yes, of course light can pass through them. Okay, again we have two types, that is convex lens and concave lenses. Okay, and we now know that sunlight consists of that white light is nothing but a combination of these 7 colors. Okay, and if we make the sunlight to pass across this prism, okay, the output is of 7 colors, which clearly infers that yes, sunlight is made up of these 7 colors. And with this small experiment we can know, if we take a disc with color 7 colored, okay, and if we rotate it, this appears to be light. Okay, this is to confirm that yes, white light consists of 7 colors. Okay, with this discussion the chapter light completes. Thank you.